everybody, and welcome to another ASMR video here on the channel. In this evening's video, we have another conspiracy theories video. It hasn't actually been long at all. In fact, the moon landing video might have gone out last week, but it's just the way stuff has fallen around my holiday, and this evening I've got time to record two 20-minute videos. So, conspiracy theories to do with our good old friends, the aliens. We've done a few of them here on the channel. We've done Area 51, we've done Ancient Aliens helping with the pyramids, of course. But in tonight's video, I'm going to be taking a look at a specific incident, a specific sighting known as the Phoenix Lights, which many believe is proof of the existence of extraterrestrial life. So how this is going to work, rather than me throwing images up as I speak, I'm going to basically give like a big intro, give all the details, the nitty gritty and everything, and then I found the original video, which is like 3 or 4 minutes long, and I thought it'd be quite fun to just sit and sort of react to it together. So that is the plan. So hopefully you find this video entertaining and relaxing. And let's get into the Phoenix Lights. So, the Phoenix Lights, sometimes called the Lights over Phoenix, were a series of widely sighted and identified flying objects observed in the skies over the southwestern US states of Arizona and Nevada on March 13th, 1997. Lights of varying descriptions were seen by thousands of people between 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. MST in a space of about 300 miles from the Nevada line through Phoenix to the edge of Tucson. Actor Kurt Russell, an amateur pilot, reported seeing the lights to air traffic control. Some witnesses described seeing what appeared to be a huge carpenter's square-shaped UFO containing 5 spherical lights. There were 2 distinct events involved in the incident: a triangular formation of lights seen to pass over the state, and a series of stationary lights seen in the Phoenix area. Both sightings were supposedly due to aircraft participating in Operation Snowbird, a pilot training program of the Air National Guard based in Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. The first group of lights were later identified as a formation of A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft flying over Phoenix while returning to Davis-Monthan. The second group of lights were identified as illumination flares dropped by another flight of A-10 aircraft that were on training exercises. Fife Symington, governor of Arizona at the time, years later recounted witnessing the incident, describing it as otherworldly. Reports of similar lights arose in 2007 and 2008, and were attributed to military flares dropped by fighter aircraft at Luke Air Force Base, and flares attached to helium balloons released by a civilian, respectively. So, 1997 reports. On March 13th, 1997, at 7:55 p.m. MST, a witness in Henderson, Nevada, reported seeing a large V-shaped object travelling southeast. At 8:15 p.m, an unidentified former police officer seeing a cluster of reddish-orange lights disappear over the southern horizon. Shortly afterwards, there were reports of lights seen over the Prescott Valley, Arizona. Tim Lay and his wife Bobby, his son Hal and his grandson Damien Durnage first saw the lights when they were about 65 miles away from them. At first, the lights appeared to them as 5 separate and distinct lights in an arc shape, as if they were on top of a balloon, but they soon realised that the lights appeared to be moving towards them. Over the next 10 or so minutes, the lights appeared to come closer. The distance between the lights increased, and they took on the shape of an upside-down V. Eventually, when the lights appeared to be a couple of miles away, the family said they could make out a shape that looked like a 60-degree carpenter's square, with the 5 lights set into it, with one at the front and 2 on each side. Soon the object with the embedded lights appeared to be moving toward them, about 100 to 150 feet above them, travelling so slowly that it gave the appearance of a silent hovering object, which seemed to pass over their heads and went through a V opening in the peaks of the mountain range towards Piestewa Peak Mountain, and toward the direction of Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Between 8:30 and 8:45 p.m, witnesses in Glendale, a suburb northwest of Phoenix, saw the light formation pass overhead at an altitude high enough to become obscured by the thin clouds. Amateur astronomer Mitch Stanley in Scottsdale also observed the high-altitude lights flying in formation through a telescope. According to Stanley, they were quite clearly individual airplanes. Approximately 10 p.m. that same evening, a large number of people in the Phoenix area reported seeing a row of brilliant lights hovering in the sky, or slowly falling. A number of photographs and videos were taken, prompting author Robert Schieffer to describe it as perhaps the most widely witnessed UFO event in history. So, explanations. According to Schieffer, what became known as the Phoenix Lights incident of 1997 consists of 2 unrelated incidents, although both were the result of activities of the same organisation, Operation Snowbird, a pilot training program operated in the winter by the Air National Guard out of Davis-Monthan Air Base in Tucson, Arizona. Tucson astronomer and retired Air Force pilot James McGaha said he also investigated the 2 separate sightings and traced them both to A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft flying in formation at high altitude. The first incident, often perceived as a large flying triangle by witnesses, began at approximately 8 p.m. and was due to 5 A-10 jets from Operation Snowbird following an assigned air traffic corridor and flying under visual flight rules. Federal Aviation Administration rules concerning private and commercial aircraft do not apply to military aircraft, so the A-10 formation displayed steady formation lights rather than blinking collision lights. The formation flew over Phoenix and on to Tucson, landing at Davis-Monthan AFB at about 8:45 p.m. The second incident, described as a row of brilliant lights hovering in the sky, or slowly falling, began at approximately 10 p.m. and was due to a flare drop exercise by different A-10 jets from the Maryland Air National Guard, also operating out of Davis-Monthan. The US Air Force explained the exercise as utilizing slow-falling, long-burning LUU-2B/B illumination flares dropped by a flight of 4 A-10 aircraft on a training exercise in Pima County, Arizona. The flares would have been visible in Phoenix and appeared to hover due to rising heat from the burning flares, creating a balloon effect on their parachutes, which slowed the descent. The lights then appeared to wink out as they fell behind the Sierra Estrella mountain range to the southwest of Phoenix. A Maryland A&G pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Ed Jones, responding to a March 2007 media query, confirmed that he had flown one of the aircraft in the formation that dropped flares on the night in question. The squadron to which he belonged was at Davis-Monthan AFB on a training exercise at the time, and flew training sorties to the Coldwater Air Force Range on the night in question. According to the Maryland A&G, a history of the Maryland A&G published in 2000 asserted that the squadron, the 104th Fighter Squadron, was responsible for the incident. The first reports that members of the Maryland A&G were responsible for the incident were published in the Arizona Republic in July 1997. Later comparisons with known military flare drops were reported on local television stations, showing similarities between the known military flare drops and the Phoenix lights. An analysis of the luminosity of the LUU-2B/B illumination flares, the types which would have been in use by A-10 aircraft at the time, determined that the luminosity of such flares at a range of approximately 50 to 70 miles would fall well within the range of lights viewed from Phoenix. During the Phoenix event, numerous still photographs and videotapes were made, showing a series of lights appearing at a regular interval, remaining illuminated for several moments and then going out. The images were later determined to be the result of mountains not visible by night that partially obstructed the view of aircraft flares from certain angles to create the illusion of an arc of lights appearing and disappearing one by one. So the governor's response: shortly after the 1997 incident, Arizona Governor Fife Symington III held a press conference, joking that they found he was responsible, and revealing an aide dressed in an alien costume. Later in 2007, Symington reportedly told the UFO investigator he'd had a personal close encounter with an alien spacecraft, but remained silent because he didn't want to panic the populace. According to Symington, "I'm a pilot and I know just about every machine that flies. It was bigger than anything I've ever seen. It remains a great mystery. Other people saw it. Responsible people. I don't know why people would ridicule it." And linking to the Phoenix lights we have in 2007, lights were reported by observers and recorded by the local Fox News television station on February 6, 2007. According to military officials in the FAA, these were flares dropped by F-16 Fighting Falcon aircraft training at Luke Air Force Base. And on April 21st, 2008, lights were reported over Phoenix by local residents. These lights reportedly appeared to change from square to triangle formation over time. A Valley resident reported that shortly after the lights appeared, the three jets were seen heading west in the direction of the lights, An official from Luke AFB denied any US Air Force activity in the area. On April 22nd, 2008, a resident of Phoenix told the newspaper that the lights were nothing more than his neighbour releasing helium balloons with flares attached. This was confirmed by a police helicopter. The following day, a Phoenix resident, who declined to be identified in news reports, stated that he had attached flares to helium balloons and released them from his backyard. Or is that the official story and what the government want you to believe? In all seriousness, we don't know. Not that I would, dispute the government, because the government would never lie. No government has ever lied. But it realistically all sounds pretty plausible that it was literally just a training exercise. So I thought now to sort of end the video is react together to some of the original 1997 footage. Please don't give me an ad. I've got a screw fix ad. Nice. So I haven't watched this. I watched the first like 10 seconds. So I'm gonna 3, 2, 1 play for the old Sinkaroony. So original VHS tape footage. Well, in this footage I can kind of clearly see the mountains now. I want like a little bit of sound, so apologies if it comes through. Okay, that could literally be anything at the minute. Is it not them on the top of the mountain? Or is that a telephone? What's it called? A telephone tower. Okay, now there's... Oh, is it them on the right as well? I mean, yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, aliens or not, it looks cool. But yeah, that kind of does look like flares, but it almost does look like they're just sort of hanging in the air, doesn't it? And there's another one. Wow. It's very pretty. It's like a New Year's Eve fireworks. I really can't see why people were like, it's UFOs, because that literally looks like spaceships spawning, or one big spaceship spawning in the air and then hovering in place. But I think they are slowly falling down. But it really, really looks like it's just like this big ship hanging over Phoenix, I assume. Probably. Name of the video. Yeah, like, it really doesn't look like it's going down at all, does it? Right, that one's disappeared. Oh, so is there like more mountains in the distance? Is that what the idea is? So it looks like that's gone out. I see. Kinda makes sense, I guess. Thing is, if it is aliens, I don't really know what benefit they're getting from hovering in place over a random city in America. And they slowly go out, so I assume is them going behind the mountains in the distance. Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, okay, so I've just skipped to... Yeah, I've just skipped to later in the video, and as you can see, I'll have adjusted it. Yeah, it now reveals that mountain. So it was obviously just flares, and then disappearing, sadly. So, watching the proof, I was hoping it would swing me in the way of thinking it was aliens, but I sadly think that, yeah, military flares is probably a plausible, explanation. But yeah, that was a fun little conspiracy theory slash alien, non-alien happening that happened. But yeah, hopefully you found this video interesting. I do like doing these sort of like shorter snippets of history slash worldly events. There's a good one going up this week, or maybe next week, a members exclusive video about Ramree Island, which to my knowledge was like a battle in World War II, where basically it was like the biggest crocodile massacre ever and the Japanese got munched. So I'm very much looking forward to filming that members exclusive history video. But anyways, I'm waffling on. So yeah, hopefully you did enjoy this video. As always, be sure to leave recommendations down below for even the little conspiracy theories that we can focus on. But if you did enjoy this video, please